All right, this was an interesting episode. Stay tuned. A lot of good, valuable information and theories that should be applied with your puppy or older dog immediately. This family had the foresight and wisdom to enroll their baby girl soon after getting her, several weeks before she was cleared by the vet to come in for her first boarding and training stay with us. She's coming next week. Stick around, you're gonna hear my real advice on whether she should come next week or not after I evaluate her. Look at the house. After I evaluate her in the class. So I'm gonna give them my honest opinion. Listen, just because people pay for a certain program, I always want people to be flexible and realize that I'm going to give you the advice that I think is going to give you the best results with your dog, genetics, age, temperament, and your ability or inability to handle the dog. And this family is very capable. Stick around. I'm very impressed by the way they've handled her. We had a Zoom conference call when they enrolled several weeks ago, and since that point they've had a lot of success with the dog. They've started applying my theories, and I'm very impressed with the way they've done so. You're gonna see the fruits of their labor now in this video, but this video is primarily focused on her social aversion. The biggest issue we have in this video though is Cranberry. Yet again, you failed to follow instructions. You're Mr. Opposite. So, Cranberry, when I asked you to keep walking straight, you're coming from yonder. Number one, I wanted your cousin to come out so that, again, the theme of the episode was aversion to strangers. That's why I had him come over. Completely flubbed that up because both of you were confused, and even though I clearly discussed it beforehand. Amen? Now, this is the thing, Cranberry. You're walking this way. I tell you to keep walking straight, puppy's right here, and you cut a left. Why, Cranberry?
Oh man, that dog was hot. Yeah.
She was hot?
Yeah, she was
and so I know that she was hot. Yeah. Why didn't you keep walking towards her like I asked you?
Well, I was
you were afraid?
Well,
she's itty bitty.
But she already had the looks.
She already getting hot, huh?
Yeah, she's already.
So this is a blessing that the family came out today, because had they waited to drop her off next week without letting me meet her, they wouldn't benefit as much as they're going to benefit today after this class. You're going to benefit a lot from watching this video, so stick around, yeah? It's going to be good, Cranberry. And for the love of God, Cranberry, don't be so cowardly. Courage, yeah? Courage is the willingness to pursue despite the fear. Yeah? Yeah. Can we work on that, bud? Hey, how you doing? Oh, virtual hug,
Oh, you're
yeah?
fine, you're fine.
We'll come to me. Okay, how beautiful. Okay, so she's a little smaller than I thought she was going to be, but this is what I was saying about the collars, yes? It's imperative that we make the right decision when it comes to a collar, because you guys were intelligent enough, smart enough to enroll her in training early on. Again, even before she's able to come for her first day, right? So that's gonna make a big difference, yes? The blessings are gonna be humongous in this situation. So because of this, we can avoid a lot of problems. Keep in mind, I get a lot of dogs sent with aggression issues. Right. And a lot of times aggression issues begin in this phase. Right. And the way we handle them. So like, for example, so I'm going to tell you things that I'm looking for. I'm looking to see how confident she is. Like at home, yes, when you've got she's very comfortable. She'll take a treat from you. Mm-hmm. She will, yes? Yeah. Perfect. At home, she'll play with you, yes? She'll tug a war with you and all that good stuff. Uh-huh. If you show her a new toy, she'll engage. Mm-hmm. Okay, what is the likelihood of her engaging? Good sit. What is the likelihood of her engaging with you right now if I brought a toy out?
Very good.
Oh my God. That's fantastic. So that means that she's comfortable and confident. Yes? Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, so somewhere along the line with the text messages, or maybe in our conversations, maybe I misunderstood. I kind of got the impression that maybe she was anxious or nervous or weary of people.
No, and yesterday actually, we kind of had a change of thought, because initially that was my concern.
And really quickly, see, it's ideal that we're here right now because the church is here. So I thought I was going to be looking at a dog who was afraid and weary of people. Oh, okay. Oh, you told me a story. Yes, sir, that's what you're about to tell me, yes? A friend or something came over and...
I took her to a friend's house, and they have a dog. They have an older dog.
Okay.
She did really well with them. With the individuals that she hadn't met in a long time. And with the dog, she was just playing.
Great.
She had a great time.
Fantastic. But you told me a story about her being had an aversion to a stranger or somebody she didn't know.
My mom actually came, and she was like growling at my mom, and I wasn't
there.
Was
it that? Yes, sir.
Yeah,
okay. Because you called me, yes?
Yeah.
We spoke. Okay.
And I wasn't there. And so my mom came over recently, and she was much better.
Okay.
Sit, please.
Good sit, baby. Good. Okay, so we're gonna do a couple of things. We're gonna change. Overall, I like the way you are managing her. There's a couple of things that we should change. Okay, but you're doing a good job. I'm very impressed with her, by the way. She's beautiful. Is she like a silver?
I have no idea.
She looks almost like a silver sable to me. And you know, her ears are gonna go up. They just, when they're teething and when they're young like this, they flop over. But it's only a matter of time before they're erect.
I feel they've been up and now they're back down. I just.
She had a cone on and they
Oh, I don't even think you got to go that far.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. It's inevitable. It's just only a matter of time.
Well, we had that on because she had her surgery.
Oh, yeah. And she's done good with her surgery, I hear. Yes? Yeah, how cute.
Again, it was great. She's been
Okay, man, I'm very impressed with this little puppy. So I was misunderstanding, and okay, so I thought that maybe she was nervous, was weary, any of these behaviors, but it doesn't seem to be. She seems to be very well adjusted. She seems to be very, very well adjusted. So she's going to, good sit, baby. So she's going to benefit tremendously from this. Yes. So with that being said, then we probably are going to go ahead and use a prong collar on her. Okay. You guys familiar with a prong collar?
We actually had a buddy who brought that over. It just did not fit her when she
Okay.
was really little. But
Okay. Was it as small as this one?
No, that one looks way smaller.
Yeah. So this one is actually for a Jack Russell Terrier. Good, baby.
And she's actually doing really well with you. Usually when she meets people initially, she'll at least bark at them, and she's not barking.
Okay, so see, back to what I was saying. So there might be an issue. Okay, the barking. I wish I was seeing that now.
Yeah.
But she's not even doing it to the church across the street, yes?
Right.
To the churchgoers.
I think she's just very curious right now.
Yeah.
But see, I need video of that, please. Do you know why? Because I need to see if that barking is just being emphatic or aggressive or...
Not aggressive.
Okay, so she's not barking to tell people to stay away from me. She's potentially barking, hey, pay attention to me.
Yeah.
Here I am.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
good. Okay, so do you understand that a lot of dogs learn to be aggressive because they see a stranger, so they bark, because they think that that's going to keep the stranger away. So let me tell you something. So, good sit. So simply because the stranger isn't paying attention to the dog, let's say a person is unloading from their car going to the church and your puppy barks at them, roar, 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 roar. And your dog, even though it's not reality, perception is reality. So with your dog, she's going to think that the bark was effective and made that person go in the, even though that person had no intention of coming this way, it's not even looking in your direction.
Right.
But the dog, that's the perception.
Right.
So in fact, this is proprietary training, and this is why I'm going to tell you you're going to benefit from this class, because the right thing to do in that situation would be to actually walk towards those people, even if they don't engage you. Because the opposite of what wants is happening.
Right.
Instead of being distance, creating good down, baby. Instead of creating good settle. Instead of creating distance, she's beautiful, man. I love this little dog. Instead of creating distance, we're shortening distance. So we're using kind of reverse psychology on the dog.
Right.
And it's actually what I like to call good sit, the law of predictability. Remember, if you have to become predictable in what you're going to do if she does a certain behavior.
Right.
Like, for example, there's the bark. So let's say that I wanted to teach her to speak on command, okay? Every time she barked at a stranger there, I would say, good, speak. Okay?
Right.
I'm going to tell you another thing, yeah? So, let's say that every time she speaks like that, after, you reward her, you praise her, you give her a treat. Let's say that she walks up to somebody and barks at them. And because she knows that if she barks at them, you or them are going to give her a treat. And it's a friendly bark. Because that seemed good sit. Seemed kind of like a friendly bark. Okay? I don't know her mannerisms yet, but you guys seem that was a friendly bark, yes? So let's say that if every time she friendly barked at somebody, that person gave her a treat, or you guys gave her a treat right afterwards and you rewarded her for it, if you assigned a word that sounded like watch him to that, remember, perception is reality. So let's say somebody comes up to you and you're feeling uneasy, you point at them and you tell her watch him. Even though she's barking happily because she thinks they're going to give her a treat, they're going to get scared and run off. Reverse, remember what I'm telling you. Perception is reality, yes? Do you understand?
Water bowl, if you don't mind?
Yeah, we will hear in a second, but we don't want to give her any water just yet.
Okay, sure.
She's not going to dehydrate, and then that's just going to complicate things when we work with her, okay?
All right,
So we'll offer her some after the class, okay? So again, as I was saying, do you understand what I'm talking about? Perception.
Yeah.
Be mindful of the dog's perception and their perception may not be what you think.
Right.
You have to reflect on it a little bit.
Yeah. Because she'll have, you know, kind of the friendly bark.
Yes.
And then she'll also have her more
And you can
assertive
differentiate.
bark.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good
Oh, yeah.
sit. So see that little bark. That's the behavior I want to see. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's
a
just
deeper
from.
bark.
Oh, and that's just from somebody getting propane and propane accessories. Good, good, good. Okay, so that bark there, what do we think? How are you guys reading that?
Not aggressive.
Okay,
It's not aggressive, but it's
Good
deeper
sit.
than she used
really
to.
quickly, just a little while ago, she walked up to you, she gave a little hop, yes? The way that you handled that little hop was a reward. And I'm not, listen, and I'm not condemning or anything. We're just
Right.
very matter of fact, please.
Right.
Just want to be sure that we're on the same page, yes?
Right.
But you guys have been doing a lot wrong since that first Zoom conference, yes?
Right.
Because I'm seeing a lot of results. Like, for example, right after that, when you did stand up and removed yourself from the situation, she very quickly sat down.
Oh yeah.
Okay? And so I'm seeing a lot of those benefits. So she, like I said to you guys, this is what I try to stress, and it's weird because I don't like have a salesman. So when I talk to somebody about training, I'm talking to them and I'm really trying to tell them what is best. But had you guys, like most people in your situation, instead of signing up when you did, though she was still too young, and taking that conference call, would have waited until, you know, she's cleared by the vet in like a week or so, and then enrolled. And by that time, we've missed on a ton of critical learning.
Right.
You guys benefited from that, right? So I'm excited to show people her progress, because listen, this dog is looking really well adjusted, provided that those barks are not necessarily, again, keep away barks. Because if that was a stay away bark, the right thing for dad to have done is to walk in that direction, shorten distance.
Right.
And it's important that right now we handle it that way, because right now it's when it's making the greatest impact.
Right.
Some people say, oh man, don't start until the dog's 6 months old. Yeah, whatever. But again, the dog is learning at an accelerated rate of good, come here, good. And again, really quickly, so you see how, like, when I coughed there, she and it's allergies. Good sit. Yeah. Now let me approach her. Good. Okay.
Good. Like.
Okay. So me personally, I feel there's a little apprehension there.
Oh yeah.
You agree?
Yeah, but she's not barking at you, which is
Correct. But let me
Yeah.
right. But that's where we can potentially have an aggressive dog, because a lack of barking can also indicate confidence.
oh okay.
So let me tell you something. Yeah, there's been dogs that I've trained to be guard dogs who we struggled with getting them to bark because they knew if they barked, they weren't going to get to bite the person.
Oh.
So if a dog's on the other side of the fence and he's wagging his tail at you and he looks happy and you jump over, he might just not have been barking because he knows if you bark, you're going to run off and he grabs you. Okay? So if you agree with what I'm saying, and if you disagree, you guys, listen, I'm not a know-it-all. I have my gut instinct and my years of experience, and I have faith in myself, but I have faith in you as parents too, and I think that you guys are tuned in with her. So I'm willing to always listen to your advice. And this is why I said about the collar. We're going to make the decision on the collar based on what I think is best on her temperament, because this is where we can run into problems
Right.
if we don't use. So for example, good job, Mom. So you see how you backed away? That's perfect. Okay? The other thing that you can do is look you good. Yeah, so see, there's a little bit of aversion there.
And I think the reason she didn't bark at you when you came over to her,
Yes.
is she was sitting next to me, and I was kind of.
Interesting. So this is what so my suspicions were a little correct. There is a little aversion to strangers.
She is,
Oh,
yeah.
she is.
Okay. Wow. She actually became more averse as we've gotten, as we've spoken longer. Yeah. In the beginning, I guess maybe now that she sees that I'm not leaving, maybe she's a little more worried about me. Okay, so
Very
let's.
attached to her,
Okay, so let me just tell you this right now, okay? Do you think she's feeling a little averse right now or a little anxious?
Yeah.
Okay, so then Dad is encouraging her aversion and her anxiety right now.
but she really likes to stay near him.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
If she's separated from him, she starts to get much more.
Okay, but again,
Yeah.
what is happening right now is we are encouraging, promoting, and agreeing with anxiety and aversion.
I agree with that.
Okay? So I would stop petting her.
Okay.
And again, what did you say? So look, give her, and I would shun her in this situation. This is why it's critical, because I'm telling you the truth, yes? So she is more likely to grow up to be confident enough to bite a human because when I approached her to pet her, and I don't know her as well as you guys, I felt as if she was feeling a little averse about me, a little like off about me, but she never backed up at all.
Right.
I feel I was coddling her.
Yes, sir. Emboldening her.
Yep.
So do you see what I mean? Most dogs would have retreated because the dogs have their flight or fight. Good sit. Dogs have their flight or fight drive. She didn't try to employ her flight drive at all. So see the things that I'm saying? So in that situation there, when she started feeling averse, you know, dad was petting her. We shouldn't have been. We need to actually stop petting her, stand up, and walk into her with a sharp left if she's on the leash, and then making another sharp left, and then another sharp left, finally returning back to where you were at.
Okay.
So it's very important that you handle it this way, so you redirect and challenge the idea that she's having. Okay? The other thing that I want to, good sit. So do you notice how every time since we've been out here, every time she sat on her own, I'm employing the good word theory. We went over this over the Zoom conference, yes?
Yeah.
You guys have been doing okay with that? Do you understand that?
Right.
Okay, so it makes a big difference in the dogs for sure.
It's improved a lot in her behavior with the cats.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
In the good kennel as well.
I remember the cats in the video. Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
She's
Awesome.
doing much better.
You had a gigantic cat, didn't you?
Too.
One's almost as good sit, almost as big as this dog.
No.
Not as big as
they're
her,
not
but
that big,
enormous for a cat.
They must have been bigger than her when I zoomed with you then.
Yeah. they
Because
were
I was
pretty big.
watching her.
Close,
Yeah, oh
'cause
my
she was
God.
really little at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Wow, I remember that. Awesome, awesome. Okay, good. Okay, so again, good. So really quickly, okay? So there are moments where, and perhaps we're missing those moments because you guys are listening to what I'm saying, so I understand that, okay? But keep in mind that just a little while ago, she looked up at you. So whenever the dog makes eye contact with us, it is imperative that we nod and say, good look. Because we want to associate the word look with making eye contact. And in fact, just for this exercise now, let's take our sunglasses off, yeah? So we can make, so I can read, good sit, good look, good. Pet her under the chin, please. Good. Now stop petting her. So let me show you something. Those fine details, okay? So when you started petting her, the moment she broke eye contact with you, I would have stopped petting her. That's how hardcore I keep it. I'm telling you the truth, but they create such a big difference in the future.
Right.
It creates focus. Because she longs for your touch, yeah? So she will learn.
Yeah.
Remember, you have to become predictable in your actions. If she's making eye contact with you and you're petting her, good sit. You're petting her under the chin and she's looking at you, keep saying good. Keep saying good at her as you're petting her under the chin and just looking at her lovingly. Even if it turns into a staring contest for 5 minutes, that's a blessing. Good look. Good, come here. Good, come here. And you see how I'm rewarding right now curiosity? You guys should too. So again, you're not doing it now because I'm speaking. But again, were I not here and you were in public, right now when she starts approaching a stranger, I would at the very least murmur. Good. And let her know that you value her curious nature. You have to make it very clear when you're not in public. If you're not nervous in a particular situation, she should not be nervous in that particular situation.
Right.
Very important. Don't let her start thinking that she knows better than you. And remember, looking, good sit.
That's it, sweet.
Really quickly, okay? I really value that good sit. Pet her under the chin, please, and make that break. You see, the moment she stopped looking at you, stop. Good. Good up sit. You're on it though. But do you understand what I'm saying to you guys? So, with this little one here, yes? Whenever we're out in public and she happens and you happen to make eye contact with her, say, good look. Have we employed, did we go over wow moments during that Zoom conference?
Remind me of an example.
So wow moments are basically bookmarking a behavior in time. It's just kind of like, it's, and using like Pavlov's theory, yeah? So basically it's just, some trainers will use a clicker
Right.
or the word yes. We're not going to use the clicker because what if you don't have a clicker on you and then the dog becomes codependent on the clicker. The other thing is the word yes is just too common in our vocabulary, and dogs like sounds that kind of sound like a bark, so we're going to go with wow moments. Ideally, you show some enthusiasm with a wow moment. So what I do with a wow moment is I put my hands up, wow. To achieve is we want the dog, give me 1 second please. Cranberry, hey, your cousin's here. Okay, so what we're trying to achieve, oh, this is going to be interesting really quickly. So I'm going to watch the way you guys are going to handle this, and I'm also going to, because Cranberry's going to bust out, so we'll see if she like freaks out, if she calm, hold her nerves. Good look. She makes a lot of eye contact with you all.
Oh, yeah.
Did we go over like petting her under the chin?
Oh, yeah.
Over
Yeah.
the, man, it's making a big difference. That
Yeah.
dog, listen, so I'm used to this. I'm not used to a dog making this much eye contact. You guys give me goosebumps.
Oh.
This dog's an excel, yeah?
Yeah, she's
I
very
promise
smart.
you. And listen, it's a drive. But if you guys ever, listen, for every 3 classes that you come out to, I'll give you 3 days of good sit of boarding with her. I promise you, yes?
Right.
So you're going to be committed. I'm going to be committed too. I promise you that, yes? It's going to be good. I'd love to have a relationship with this dog. She's in my 3-week program. I'd love to have a relationship with this dog for the next year. And it won't necessarily cost you anything other than your time if you make the trip. You come out here 3 times for a class with me, then I'll give you 3 or 4 days of boarding. And we'll train with her during those boarding times. So she'll be able to come back and refresh and socialize, be handled by my customers,
Right.
play with other dogs. The benefits are tremendous.
Yeah.
Right? Good. So really quickly, you see how she's watching all the activity over there? If every time she was scanning, you were saying good look, every time you noticed she like picked a new dot in the sky, you said good look, that may potentially make her hot because you're rewarding and encouraging the fact that she's scanning. So is she scanning because she's looking for a friendly face, because she's looking for somebody to hug her, or is she scanning for threats? If she's scanning for threats, we need to discourage that.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know her well enough. See,
Can't
there'll
tell.
be trainers that'll tell you they know for a fact. I'm not a know-it-all. I will know in time, but I may not know that right now. I don't know her mannerisms yet.
Right.
You guys probably know her a little bit more than I do, yes? So to me, it looks almost like she wants to go say hi. So to me, it seems inquisitive.
Yeah, she's not barking aggressively at
Yeah.
her.
For the love of God, Cranberry
She'll
just
say be nice.
run. Your cousin's here, Ronnie. For the love of God. Okay. So Cranberry didn't come out the way I thought he was going to come out. But look, so she's watching for him a little bit. He probably don't want to interrupt the class. And I'm hoping for interruption so I can see more reactions with strangers and nobody's cooperating. So I want to see her reaction to strangers, but nobody's cooperating. Okay.
How long have you been in this location?
Maybe about a year or so. Good, you good?
Good down, please. Good down. You leave alone.
Okay. So very good. So let's really quickly, you see how when she jumped on the van, the way we handled that? So I wouldn't, Cranberry, come this way, please.
Be nice.
Come this way, please. No, towards the dog, Cranberry. Why do you always do the opposite of what I'm asking for, bud? This is what I want to see.
Nice. Be nice. Leave alone.
Right, go quiet the dogs down. When I call her for you, Ronnie's here. Okay, so you see that? So that's not a good sign. That can lead to like severe aggression, biting people. Because again, he's not posing any threat.
Right.
She just lost her nerve with him for some reason. So this is what I was trying to say. So I initially said we were going to use this prong collar. We're not going to use this prong collar. We're going to use this prong collar privately when she knows me personally and when she knows you guys a little bit better. But we need to use a choker chain. So we're going to need to use one of these. Now, I don't know how big her neck is around, but we need to get one like this. But ideally, the thinnest one they have, the lightest weight possible, that is maybe only that can slip over her head, with about 2 inches of leeway. Okay, she needs to start wearing one of these when you take her out in public.
Okay.
Right, and I'm going to show you guys here how to put it on. But using the prong collar with her, although I said at first, well, I guess we're going to go with the prong collar. Again, my initial suspicions were right. There is a social issue with her for sure.
Yeah, she hasn't been out socially, so it doesn't surprise me that she's...
Well, see, and this is the thing, so with my own personal dogs, I risk it, and I think this is what I told your husband. I risk it with my own personal dogs because I value socialization, but you're at a risk of them dying. That's why they tell you not to socialize them, because everything's out to kill them. Mother Nature wants to kill them. They can catch anything. Everything has diarrhea, so it's like coccidia, giardia. There's so many things they can catch. I personally take the risk in socializing my puppies, but I'm not. But when I sell my litters of Cane Corsos, I tell my customers not to socialize them or not to take them out, but I do tell them that I will take the risk myself, but it's a risk. That's why you don't want to take the risk. But that being said, some dogs are just born like that. So no amount of socialization. Listen, there are dogs that are good sit, that are born out in the country, especially when I was out in Santa Fe. You'd meet dogs that had never met another stranger, much less a Hispanic person. And that dog's just friendly as can be, right? Out of her good look, out of her litter mates, she might be the only one good look. Maybe the only one that behaves this way. So we're in good. Listen, you guys started off early. I think you guys are intelligent and very capable. We're gonna make it happen. It's gonna work out good for you, okay? So look there. Whatever anxiety or whatever anxiety, anxiousness she was having, you encouraged and rewarded.
Okay. So if she's like whining like that,
I would have turned my body. I would have good sit. I would have made it very obvious that you didn't want any engagement or interaction.
We don't want to pamper her.
Nope. I would have. There's no reason to be anxious right now. In fact, ironically enough, you're here for her well-being. You're here to increase the likelihood of success of having her be a good fit for your family, yes? So why should she be anxious? She should have faith in you guys. We're going to teach her to have faith, okay? And the weight, good sit. And see there, good sit. She's looking at you. I would say good look. Good look. Good look. Very good, Dad. Good look. Good look. Everything we're doing right now is very, very good, yes? Now, from now on, let's start with a very simple enforcement, okay? From now on, Dad, what I want you to do is stand right next to her with her at your left. Start getting her used to being in a reset position, just like that. Yes, sir. So look, from now on, until I tell you otherwise, please, every time she stands up, laying down is acceptable. You're going to say good down if she lays down. If she lays down and then gets comfortable on her side, I would say good settle. Every time she gets up, I wouldn't. So very simple. Every time she gets up, I would maybe pull her back to your left-hand side.
Sit.
No. I would pull her back to your left-hand side, kind of move her around, guide her back to your left-hand side, and apply pressure up towards your right shoulder blade without saying anything, please. Apply pressure up towards your right shoulder blade. So your right, there you go. Good sit. Look what happened. Let go of the pressure. Let go of the pressure. So a couple of things, yes? So I want you to change some handling. So I want you have to stop asking her to sit for now.
Okay.
You just have to. You have to start forcing her into the sit. This is important. So there, remember what I said and really quickly, when she lunged at Mom, it's the second time or third time she's done it, but it's the second time I recall look, apply pressure. So the moment she gets up, perfect, Dad, good sit. Release the pressure. Apply pressure. Every time, just be more stubborn than her. Every time, apply pressure up towards your right shoulder blade. Up towards your right shoulder blade. Keep applying your pressure. Keep pulling up. So you're not trying to jerk, you're just pulling up. There you go. There you go. You're working. You let it go. You won. She's just being stubborn. She's resisting natural urges to put her butt on the ground. Dogs are always going to go in the opposite direction. You're pulling them. Apply pressure. And look. And again, no good sit. No anger. You're not mad. You're not upset. You're not disappointed. You're not being told to do anything. You're teaching her how to behave, how the family rolls, how you move as a pack. That's important. Okay. Don't let her just be crazy, because she's not responsible enough to just be crazy. She's not friendly enough. Apply pressure. And very good, Dad. See, that time, Dad, you did exactly what I was going to tell you to do. You didn't say down, please stop, or anything. If jumping on you is disallowed, do you want it to be permission based or no? If it's disallowed, then there shouldn't be a command to get them to stop doing it. You see, apply pressure. So what I mean is, let's say it was permission based and you wanted a teacher to give you hugs. Apply pressure. You're doing good, Dad. Good sit. You're winning. You're winning. You see what I mean? You're winning. Let go of the pressure. So you're teaching her right now so many things. She's learning that you remove pressure if she sits. The other thing that I would do is whenever you're applying pressure, if it starts taking a lot longer, I would start bowing myself, looming over her. So the moment she starts to sit, you stop looming over her. So that makes her understand how she can remove your psychological pressure. I use a lot of psychological pressure on my own dogs. If they walk up to me, if they don't sit, I start to loom over them. They go into sit really fast.
It's that alpha.
Exactly. Yeah. At behaving like an alpha dog. If a dog walks up to a dominant dog and that dog kind of shows the proper greeting, the alpha dog just accepts it. Dog walks up to the alpha dog, doesn't show the proper greeting, the alpha dog is going to kind of arch his neck, loom over the other dog. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you're gonna get pat down potentially, you know, rear end sniffed and all that good stuff. So, again, if every time she whines you make eye contact with her, you're encouraging that eye contact. Okay, Cranberry's gonna come out. Cranberry! Ronnie, please. Like a normal human being, buddy. Just walk out like if the dog's not here, like a normal human being.
Yes, sir.
Here, bring her this way, please, so I can see his reaction. Will you walk over here with her, please? So I can see her reaction like this. Let it go, relax it, but keep at it. Okay. There you go, you won. Sucks that it had to.
She's choking herself.
Yeah. Well, that one doesn't choke. The other one does, though. Okay. There you go. You're winning, Dad. You're winning, Dad. You're winning. Dang, man, you're a fast study. So let me tell you guys something. I'm gonna be honest. All right. The reason I asked y'all to move was to see how Dad was going to handle her. And let me tell you something. You passed the test. You handled her just like, man, you gave me goosebumps. You handled her just like a dog trainer. You were about your business. Good job. Yeah, Cranberry. Dang it, I wanted him to come out. Okay, that's okay. Never mind. I've got enough of that. All right, go inside, please.
All right.
I'm trying to get as many strangers. I'm trying to facilitate strangers and nobody's cooperating. Good, okay. So really quickly, during that whole exchange with him and he was standing here, I would have been murmuring the word good whenever I felt she was feeling comfortable with the current situation. So part of it is knowing to read your dog, knowing when to say the word good. Saying the word good is like a verb good down, like a verbal tail wag. The word good is used for a lot of things, okay? And Dad, the way you handled her was perfect. And when I asked you to stop letting go, I didn't mean stop your pursuit. I meant just relax it for a second and good down and start it over. Listen, may I tell you? You need to use a prong collar too, though, but you need to use this prong collar in your home where you're comfortable and she's comfortable. In comfortable situations, she needs to have that prong collar on. And I wouldn't use it around strangers. Because look, right now, if she was on that prong collar and you were doing everything that you were doing, though appropriate, in her mind, she would have been raging. She would have been feeling like that bite is happening in somehow because of myself or Cranberry.
Okay.
So right there's no mistake. So let me tell you something. So it's kind of like being at a bar with having too many drinks, okay? And if somebody bumps into you, turning around and being irrational and punching them, okay? Now, in a situation like where what I'm trying to get at is with a fight, yes, the prong collar would be like punching her. She might be irrational enough to bite back, but maybe even bite you. We don't know her well enough yet, unless you guys feel like you already do. But I wouldn't have had her long enough myself personally to know that she's beyond biting you too. Me personally, had I had her as long as you guys, I wouldn't know yet. It's unknown still. Still processing that. Apply pressure, please. Good job. Good sit.
Good sit.
And again, no anger, just very good down. Very matter of fact. This is how we're going to teach her to behave. At the very least, you're going to have control. So what I was saying was applying pressure and pulling up with that prong collar, it's like a punch, and she may be irrational and punch back. Pulling and applying pressure with that collar she has on there, that just the regular collar, that's kind of neutral, okay? Because you're really not choking on her, you're just applying pressure, and it's amazing that she's allowing that sit to happen. I'm telling you the truth, yeah.
And since she's already behaving kind of positive to this,
well,
is it okay just to keep her on this one?
Yes. Well, no, sir. No, sir. That's what I'm getting at. So the other one, you don't want to fight as much.
No.
Fighting, and she's gonna get bigger. They won't work anymore. She's gonna be desensitized to that. Okay. And ultimately we want to be able to handle her like that, but we have to go about it this way. So again, that one's kind of neutral, and it's unbelievable at this stage that she's sitting. And I'll tell you, it's because you've been doing the good word theory, apply pressure. It's because of the way you've been handling her since the Zoom conference. Yes, and you guys were doing a pretty good job before because you guys are on the ball. Good job, Dad. Good job. So, in the context of being at home, okay? Whenever you apply pressure and you're using that prong collar, she's going to take it like her parent, nibbling at her and communicating with her. But in this context with a stranger around, she might be offensive and defensive, so don't do it. Now, in a public setting around strangers, you're going to want to use that choke chain. and ideally a thinner one, the lightest weight possible where there's only 2 inches of give roughly around her neck. And you're gonna have to buy multiples because she's gonna keep growing. She might outgrow when it go down. And in this situation, you would be using the choke chain. The choke chain is going to create the sitting faster. And if after a few minutes, after a few seconds where she's struggling with you and not wanting to relent, it's completely okay to put the leash in your right hand and then use your left hand to push her butt down. And then the moment she sits, you let go. Again, you're looming over her, you're pushing her down, you're dominating her in a subtle fashion. Okay, all this idea of her having to wait for you to walk out of a door before her, throw that out the window. That's nonsense. Okay? You don't want to work with any of that. You're just trying to be very, very clear. And again, a choke chain in this situation would help responsiveness quickly. So that's why you would want to use it. Good. Now, at home, you're going to want to use the prong collar. Ideally, so I'm gonna give you guys options on how we should proceed with the training program given her personality and temperament. Me personally, if I were you guys, you're going to get the 3 weeks of stay with me. You're going to get, I guarantee you, if you were to leave her here today, she may not be herself for a week. She might be nervous. She may or may not be. She might surprise me. If she's herself, then that's amazing. We get 3 good solid weeks. If she's wary of myself and Cranberry, she's not going to be receptive to learning from us. It'd be like you trying to learn from somebody who's abducted you. You're not going to be in that frame of mind. You're not going to be receptive. So, again, if you bring her out for a class, a few more classes, as frequently as you can, I know it's a trip. By the time she comes here, she feels like she's coming to stay with Uncle Erwin, as opposed to some stranger. That's gonna for sure give you bang for your buck. Keep in mind, I have a 6-week program where this is a moot point, because she would stay 3, 4, 5 weeks, whatever. I would get 3 weeks of training with her, regardless of how long it took for her to acclimate. You see what I mean? The other way around that is just by coming out to the classes and maximizing. Although she's scheduled to come in a week, she can come in a week. If you guys feel, I trust you, if you guys feel that's the best route for you and your family, then I would say yes. Me, you guys were less competent, then I would not be bringing this option up. I'm telling you the truth. I think you guys are on top of it. I think you guys can make a tremendous amount of progress in a week.
I had a question. As far as her boarding, is this where she's going to stay?
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all train with her outside?
We do it everywhere, yeah.
Where's everywhere?
Everywhere. The best way for you to look would be to look at the YouTube channel. All Parks, PetSmart, Strand, everywhere.
Outside around here?
We will. Yeah. But again, we have 3 weeks with her, yes? So if we're taking her out in public and she's a nervous wreck, keep those things in mind. So the more you take her out in public and start applying the things I'm teaching you today, the better she's going to be able to handle the stress of training here, and the further we can go with her. Like, for example, because you've already been applying the good word theory, and because of what you've been doing, and because of coming out to this class, she's going to do better than if she was just dropped off a week from now. A lot better.
Right.
You're already handling her well.
And that's what I'm not too worried about. I just think for what we're paying for, I definitely want to utilize the boarding classes. And
yeah, for sure.
If we had to leave her here for 6 weeks, that's something we could discuss.
Oh yeah, no.
But I personally think with her temperament and how she is, I think she would be fine in 3 weeks. The one thing I'm just trying to make sure we're clear is that, I'm always skeptical about, putting her in boarding and where they just leave her in a box. And I just want to make sure she's getting that outside attention and she is being sent to parks or being somewhere outdoor. Is that fair to say or not?
That's pretty, I'm going to be honest with you, that's unrealistic in terms of dog training. If you call around, I'm one of the only trainers that takes dogs off premises.
Well, and that's
so
what I'm asking you.
yes sir. So I'm just being, the reality of it is, I don't know of any other training place that takes dogs off property. I do.
Okay.
So yeah, for sure.
Because I was a little bit, I was a little caught by surprise when I came out here. I was assuming that there was going to be like grass somewhere where she would be handled. I just don't know. This is just new to me.
Yes sir. Yeah. No.
I'm just being more concerned for her safety.
Yeah.
Because this is something that's new to me.
No, I understand. And listen, if you're uncomfortable with it, we'll work out a refund. And she doesn't have to stay. That's the reality of it. Yes, I'm just being honest with you guys. I don't want you guys to be uncomfortable. I don't want to be uncomfortable. Keep in mind, all I'm trying to do is get you the most amount. Your mileage is going to vary with a dog if she's averse. So I'm trying to get you guys the maximum amount of results in 3 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we're trying to understand.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to do. Yes. So again, if she's here for a 3-week program, I typically don't put those dogs on YouTube. I typically don't. There's not enough time for me to take those dogs out in public, because just what they're. Keep in mind, a lot of those dogs I'm working on housebreaking. So again, how is her housebreaking going?
Much better. Oh, perfect.
Okay, so see, if we don't have to focus on housebreaking, then again, we can focus on other things in the 3 weeks. So we have to kind of, in a way, pick our battles. We have to kind of, in a way, focus on, hey, these are our priorities.
I think what we're mainly focused on is her public demeanor. We want to be able to take her out in public around people. And
I think that would be awesome.
That's mainly what we want to
Yes,
focus
sir.
on, and her, limiting how much she's barking when she doesn't have to.
Responding to commands too.
So
Just,
see,
you know, if
so
we-
this is why I'm saying to you guys, coming out to a few classes before her first day is going to get you to your goals without having to spend another penny. In fact, I even said if you guys come out for 3 classes, I'll increase her boarding time by 3 days. So I mean, that's gonna be hard to find anybody offering that. I'm being honest.
And who all works here? Is it you and Cranberry?
Yes, sir.
Else? Okay. All right. How many? As far as like, whenever we send her for schooling, is she with a lot of dogs? Or?
Yes, sir. If you haven't been watching the Instagram stories, I don't know how else to explain it to you. Yeah,
No,
I
I'm
sent you
asking-
guys links.
I'm asking what it is.
Yes, sir. Have you watched any of the stories on
No, I'm
Instagram?
asking you. I haven't looked
Then
at
you
it.
would then you would know. Yes, of course. The dogs are always playing with other dogs. So keep in mind, I have a limited time today, so I just want to focus on the training itself. Yes,
Fair enough.
like I wish you would have asked me these things before you enrolled. Yeah, that way this would already be out the way. Because now I'm feeling anxious about it, and she's not. I think she's not feeling anxious.
That's fine.
Yeah, she's calm. Yeah. So yes, sir. Yeah, the dogs get to play with the other dogs.
We can continue that.
They,
That's fine.
they interact with the other dogs and everything. So speaking of that, let me check the time though. Okay, so we have a few minutes, so let's start wrapping it up. Yes. So really quickly, you want to use the prompt. So the techniques that I'm showing you, you want to apply those techniques, and you need to, in a perfect world, things that I would do and that I'm going to do with her, you need to use 2 separate collars with her for separate occasions.
Okay.
So around the house, if I were you guys, I would put a prong collar on her that size, and I would let her wear it, even if she's not tethered to the leash, especially if she's not tethered to the leash.
Okay.
Around the house, I would put her on the leash, and I would get into the habit of getting into a reset position where I stand next to her, and when I step next to her, I would immediately loom over her a little bit and apply pressure up towards my right shoulder blade, so she puts her butt on the ground.
Right.
And then during that time, if you have to make a phone call or pretend like you got to make a phone call, or even if you're at the counter making a sandwich, let's say you come to the counter and you're going to make a sandwich, or you come to a stop, you apply pressure up towards your right shoulder blade, she sits, you tell her good sit, you take a step forward to like make a sandwich, and you're kind of holding the leash in your hand like this. You're not really making the sandwich, but you're pretending. So you want to do spontaneous training sessions with her around the house.
Makes sense.
You do these things and it's going to make a big difference. So every so often, we grab the leash and we do these spontaneous sessions in addition to the good word theory. In public, you also need to do the same techniques that you're using inside the house. And I want you guys to start off by getting this dog to understand, to be still, to meditate, to find that inner peace. So what I mean by this is, whenever you apply that upwards pressure, until you tell her to go bananas, I don't want her to be allowed to stand up. Laying down is fine and acceptable, shows comfort, but standing up is disallowed. If you're really bold, you can do it off the leash, but you're going to have to use your hands and your arms to physically wrestle her back in place. Your mileage is going to vary, yes? But with the training collar, you can put the leash on her at home, apply pressure, and make her stay there and start testing her out little by little. How far she'll go away before you have to. And again, every time you get away, if she stands up, you're going to apply pressure really quickly. So like right now, there's been multiple times where I moved and she's watching me and it's not growling or anything. That's a good improvement, yes? It's a good sign for acclimation. And just her coming.
I don't think she's at all hesitant with you.
Let me see. Good, you good? So see, good. She's curious. Good. Yeah, look curious. Hi, baby. She's really pretty. She's really pretty. Yes, I just don't know her. Good sit, baby. Good down. A little bit averse, but still good. Okay. So as I was saying, outside in public, you're going to be using the choker chain. So you can using the choker chain, instead of being punched, the dog, it's kind of like it's in an MMA fight and they're being choked out, so they got to tap out. So that's what happens. Okay, it will decrease aggression very quickly, and she'll realize it's coming from you and not from the other person or whatever she thinks is the threat. Okay. The flat buckle collar she has on at the moment, I guess it's just good for its utility purposes. I guess for her to have her collar, her tags on it. If she doesn't have tags on that collar, bless you, I would primarily focus on alternating, bless you, between the prong collar and the choke chain.
We can get
Okay.
those here today.
Yeah, for sure. So look, this is the thing, yes? again, if you start getting her on these things, you're making headway. Because instead of her first day, me giving her 2 or 3 days to acclimate, then putting that prong collar on her for the first time, you've already done it. Instead of her panicking, listen, the very first time she feels pressure from Cranberry and myself being applied, she's going to very quickly go to her toolbox and put her butt on the ground. Her pressure is going to be relieved. I'm going to praise her, maybe give her a treat. Oh, we're going to have to go over a little bit because you guys have a little bit of time, a little bit extra time. Okay. Wow moments, yes? So this is what I was saying about treats, okay? This is super important. So the good word theory is simply acknowledging visually and with affection and a nod of the head whenever a dog does a behavior, sits, good sit, yes? Wow moment is basically the same thing, but we're going to add 2 extra things to the equation. We're going to, if we can, we're going to raise our hands up in the air. We're going to say wow simultaneously. And then immediately afterwards, feed her a small, high-value treat.
Okay.
No larger than the eraser at the top of a pencil.
Okay.
It has to go, she has to be able to eat it and, thank you, may I have another?
Oh, wow.
Be ready for the next one. Create engagement.
So what's an example of a wow moment?
She sits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's the same thing as the good. So if you don't have a treat on you, on your person, then don't say the word WOW.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean?
Right.
We
So
have
the
to.
wow moment is just associated with the treat, and the good is associated with
It's just acknowledgement and affection.
Okay.
So they're the same thing. So again, let's say she walks up to your daughter and sits, and you look and you say, "Wow, good sit," and then you feed her a treat. You're bookmarking a memory. You're creating a memory, and you're creating a habit.
Right.
She starts to think, "Oh my God." So then maybe she might get up and come to you and jump on you. You turn around and walk away from her. Remember what I told you guys about positive reinforcement? I think I told you guys this. Positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement.
Right.
So I'm really big on negative reinforcement. What that means is removing something from the equation. People think that negative reinforcement is punishment. And in fact, positive reinforcement is more often than not punishment based because you're adding the punishment to the equation. So positive doesn't mean friendly, happy smiles. Positive just means adding something. So technically, if you ask a dog to sit and it doesn't sit, and you nick it with an e-collar or apply pressure, even the pressure that you're doing, it's positive reinforcement because you're adding that. Really quickly, did you touch her, Dad?
Because she was looking at me.
Good job. So please give her some space now. So that was my next thing really fast, and we're gonna finish up with the wow moments. Is remember what I said at the beginning of this? If you give her the okay and or you touch her, then she gets to get up from that sit. You have to make that delineation a very sharp one. So if you pet her, you need to at least to give her 10 to 15 seconds of freedom before you put her back into the sit.
Resetting her.
Exactly. Now, caveats to that, yes? Or exceptions to that, rather. If all of a sudden she looks at me and growls at me, there you go. See, I'm telling you, you're on top of this.
That makes sense.
You have it.
Makes sense.
Your dog is going to good sit. So right there, if you think she would take the treat from you in public, some dogs are so nervous they won't.
They don't.
Good job. You would say WOW. Boom, good sit. May I tell you, like I said before, if she's laying down tired, give her a pig ear and she's chewing on it, laying down tired, and you rise from the couch, she notices that you got up from the couch, but doesn't get up to follow you, I would use the good word theory at the very least and say, good stay. If she got up from that stay and started trotting over to me, I would immediately lose engagement.
One thing I will give you kudos for, the chicken drumsticks.
Thank you, awesome. She loves that stuff, yeah?
And
Okay.
I was surprised she could eat all of it.
And it's good for her.
Yeah.
I mean, it's again, if it's a year-old dog that you're giving that chicken to, guess what? It's going to have difficulties just like a vegan that hasn't eaten meat for a year. You just don't have the culture. It's science, yeah? So it's good that she has those, and they're an affordable edible. Listen, that's another good point. It's imperative that you give your dog at least 5 different things to chew on, that they have access to 5 different edibles.
Actual edibles, okay.
Edibles, exactly. So a rope toy is a chew toy, but it's not edible. Dogs have an innate need to chew and destroy things. Okay?
3, but okay. Now
5 would be good, yeah. It's like, listen, it's like, your kid only having 3 books as opposed to 5 books. There's a lot of calming effects to the chewing, and again, learning because she's not chewing on something inappropriate. Is she chewing on inappropriate things?
Whenever she gets a little bit hyperactive,
Like socks.
she'll, well, that's one thing. She loves to go after the laundry.
Yeah.
So she'll love to grab the socks. She'll go in the pantry and grab
Okay,
the
so we're gonna go over that today then, yeah? Man, listen, I'm telling you, yeah? That's why I keep saying,
socks. You have,
up to you.
You have church doors behind you.
Oh, that's awesome. So look, anytime, oh, so see that right there? Let me show you how to handle that, yeah? You need to turn left on her. Remember what I said? Turn left on her. This is perfect.
Oh, okay.
Turn left. Oh, no. So no, you had to turn left into her.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah. So turn left into her. Boom, there you go. Turn left again. And let me show you something. Don't be afraid. You have to be a little physical. This dog's gonna get big. So you're gonna be turning the square. So watch what I'm gonna do. So you're here, yes? So see, this is where if she was comfortable with me, I can make progress because I could take her. So the only reason normally in a class like this, I take the dog, but I don't want to take her because this is gonna freak her out. Yeah, I'm like, right? So look, she's here, yes? So look, you're going to pivot, hold this left foot still, and you're going to turn left in on her. And you need to maybe kick your knee out a little bit, your right knee out a little bit, and then make a full square so you're facing that same direction again.
And am I turning her too?
Yes, sir. So you're bumping
okay.
into her as you're turning left.
I gotcha.
Okay, the tightest left that you can do. Be wary of that concrete, yes? So again, it would be, if I'm here, yes, I would start turning into the dog like this, turning into the dog like this again, turning into the dog like this again, and then right there, perfect. Again, keep turning in. You're doing perfect. You're doing perfect. Keep turning in. There you go. Apply pressure. Yeah, she's just a little hot. I wish I had a smaller choke chain. I just don't have a smaller one, and I'll be honest, I think we can get a thinner weight one than that one I have, because the lighter weight better. Your leash, okay? Look at the difference in the leash over there on the truck. That's a kitten leash. You need to be using a kitten leash. The lighter weight leash, the lighter the equipment the dog is wearing, the faster and easier the transition, the listening without the leash and collar is going to be.
Okay.
If the dog, it's science. If the dog,
Like natural pressure. And
exactly. If the dog is aware and encumbered by the weight of the leash and training collar, look at that. Listen, this dog is a fast learner, but you're handling her like a champion. I'm telling you the honest truth. So again, she can come next week as planned.
For sure.
And your dog is smart, because your dog has a flaw. Yeah, I'm telling you the truth. That's she has a social issue, but it can be helped, and we're at the right age for it. Everything he's doing is proper. You're not fussing her. You're not angry. You're not mad. You're not afraid. Now, if you were afraid and nervous and she was acting that way, you're not going to treat her this way. You're going to encourage the fact. You're going to be like, yes, good. Then you would pet. Then you would stroke. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So more than likely, if she's been handled the way she was being handled prior to this class, keep in mind you were nurturing that desire. So now you know how to stop nurturing it.
Right.
I think that's one thing we have. We do nurture her,
Yeah,
and that's just
it's normal. It's a good thing.
We're in the comfort of our own home, so we can start taking her out more in public.
So yeah. So look, the more she goes out in public before she comes to me, the better. Do you understand what I mean? If I don't have good, did you understand that there's dogs where we spend 5 days on just getting them to sit because they fight the pressure being applied for 5 days? Now, that's not to say that's not to say other trainers wouldn't struggle with that same dog. Those trainers are just going to go to punishment. Sometimes I'll call it torture. It's time or torture. That's what it boils down to. If a trainer is telling you, man, in 3 weeks, listen, I'm a little ambiguous, unfortunately, about the 3 weeks, yes? Your mileage is going to vary. I'm trying to be realistic for you guys. If a trainer is giving you absolutes, how are they so sure about that? How?
If I can ask,
Yes, sir.
Is there anything new that she learns by bringing her in the extra 3? So we're going to go from 3 to 6
That's a
weeks.
great question. And again, the answer, your mileage, again, I hate to be ambiguous, right? But your mileage is down. Your mileage is going to vary. If you're following my guidelines, and even if we just do a Zoom class in between each one of her scheduled stays, then for sure, every time she comes, we build upon, because you're on top of things.
What extra things could she learn?
Oh man, she'll learn finishes. She'll learn, we'll do confidence building exercises. See, so the biggest benefit to that is the rehab she's going to get. So that's enough time for rehab. And what I mean by rehab is just confidence building exercises, like making her perform elevated. Like taking her on more trips, taking her on day trips with other dogs to the dog park. Not to mention the fact that she's going to make lifelong friends. If you go to my, and I know you guys are busy, you guys probably haven't watched my stuff yet, but if you go on my YouTube channel, you could see dogs that have friendships with dogs over the years, and they grow in confidence together because they know each other. Like I say all the time, yes, dogs and children thrive in a large community of acknowledgement and affection. And obviously, the more time a person spends at school, the more success, the likelihood of success there is. Yes. So the biggest benefit you're going to get from your particular dog is the sociability factor. She's going to be a far more social dog, just naturally. I'll tell you another thing. Coming from multiple in 3 weeks, it's unlikely. It's possible if you do your part, and may I tell you, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. You guys are doing more and seem to be willing to do more time investment wise than the average customer I deal with. Most people just think they're going to drop it off. It's kind of going to the plastic surgeon to lose weight. Never have to eat right again.
And that's
right?
the issue we do have. We're extremely busy.
Yeah, but I value.
But we're working as much with her as we can. So the
Yeah.
idea of doing extra classes, it'll be.
Yeah.
It probably won't be ideal for us.
Well, and remember what I'm offering though. For every third class, I'll give you 3 to 4 days of boarding.
No, I understand. It's
I mean,
just,
for free.
it's
Getting
just
that- that's
with,
like $30 a day. That's a hell of a.
with the pandemic and
Yeah.
us working. the
And you're
reason why we-
professionals. No, that's why I understand.
We'd
So-
like to see
so-
if we bring her next week.
And this is why I'm saying, yeah, so this is why I'm telling you, I'm not just trying to sell you or upsell you or anything. I'm being honest. Hey, man, the more time she's going to benefit from it. So much so I put my money where my mouth is. 'Cause I'm passionate about the dogs, yeah?
And that's not
So-
a problem. The only issue that we have is that doing the extra classes before.
Yeah.
In all
Well,
honesty,
let me,
Good job.
good. Let me bring this to a stop then.